a very specific question now. You give a very good point about how you had to, always be with the players wherever they are, be it the gym, be it their swimming sessions, be it their practice sessions, be it their matches. So, Sayali, you see an athlete as a nutritionist from that point of view. How do you start working with an athlete? Like, how does the study begin?
Correct. So obviously, like an athlete, when he's visiting me, he comes with a goal. So the goal could be anything, right from weight loss, or right from fat loss to muscle gain, or if not that, then just improving their body's response on the field, like seeking for more energy or better recovery, or maybe any fitness related issues that they are planning to overcome, or maybe any game related challenges like cramps or any kind of spasms or any kind of frequent nutrition related injuries that might be coming, right? So they come up with a goal, and then I understand that goal a bit more in depth by asking them or counseling about their health or their food eating habits or their current eating habits, or what things might be going wrong in their current eating habits. So I counsel based on all those things. I counsel or consult basis on their medical conditions as well, okay? Or any kind of food allergies that they might have, or any kind of challenges on the field that they might have. Like I said, cramps, could be energy lag, or maybe some recovery issues, things like that. And a lot of athletes, they come up with a common goal of having good muscle gains and having optimal body fat levels of weight, so that they are more better able to move around in the field and have those have that flexibility around the field. So yeah, I mean, I counsel on all these things and then give up a plan based on their training pattern. So when are their practice timings, or how's the intensity like, or what's the load looking like on that particular day, or maybe in that particular week, and based on which the meals are planned. So it's not just about healthy eating, okay? It's more about right types of food in right timings, in right amounts, in right food combinations, or maybe around right types of activities, right? Running differently, practice times differently. So yes, the food pattern is planned and given to an athlete on a very individualized way. So every athlete will not require the same. So every bowler will not require the same eating pattern. Every batter will not require the same. So it will always depend upon their cultural habits, their eating habits, how their body is responding, or what they require for that particular, season of time. So yes, that's how the meal pattern goes on, and then I keep a check on how the changes are, and then go about making some changes if required, as and when the time comes. So that's how it is.
Like, not always cricketers are playing, not always sports persons are playing. They have their vacations, there are the off season. So at that point of time, what is the job of a nutritionist to decide how the nutrition is going to be when it's in season cricket, when they are in the middle of a tournament, when the tournament is over, and then there's that off season cricket. Still the sports person has to maintain their health, their diet. So how does the nutritionist work then?
Correct, absolutely. So yes, so the nutrition of an athlete should differ from off season to pre-season to during the season. So during the season, the training load is not that too much, but the match load is too much. Like they have back-to-back matches at times, and they don't train as much as they would in off season. Whereas in off season, they train regularly, or maybe they practice as well. They complete their gym sessions, they complete their conditioning running sessions as well. So they're more differently active as compared to when in match season. So the meal pattern is always planned according to the training pattern, right? So in off season, the goals would be different, the calorie requirements would be different, the nutritional requirements would be completely different. Whereas when you're towards your season, your goals would be different, and so does your your training pattern would differ, and hence your nutrition should also. Whereas in match season, you should focus on eating more differently for your matches to have good energy on the field on that particular match day, and then to recover well as well. Because you might hit a century today and you might not be more ready tomorrow if you're not eating well, right? So that recovery between the matches also is something that's important. So eating well during that time to have better recovery, so that you gain more energy. You know, have good sessions ahead as well as maybe to help prevent the nutrition related injuries as well. So yes, focusing on different diet strategies in off season, in pre-season, in during the season is completely yes, I mean important.
So, I'll just take one point from this answer that you gave about recovery and energy gaining. You just mentioned this very good point. So, are there any nutrition tips that you would suggest for game days, particularly like an athlete, when the athlete doesn't have much time? And as you also, as a nutritionist, don't have much time to, sit and plan. So you have to do something very quickly. So any tips on recovery and energy gaining very fast, especially on game days?
Correct. So on game days, your nutrition pattern differs because your whole day looks different as compared to a practice day or a training day. On a practice day, an athlete would be like a cricketer would be working out in the morning, or maybe doing their running sessions in the morning, and maybe practicing in the noon time, right? So that would be a rough schedule of the day. Whereas on match day, they're completely on the field throughout the day. So they need different types of eating pattern on that particular day, as well as maybe couple of days prior as well. So that their body is more ready, with energy stores in. So your eating pattern should definitely differ from match day to your training day. And on particularly match day, you should be eating more carb-rich foods, energy-rich foods, more protein-based as per the timing. So yes, I definitely help them or help them guide on what to do pre-match, or maybe what to do a breakfast, or maybe add some superfoods during your breakfast time, which is pre-match time. Then what could be very easily digestible during the match, so that they are not heavily loaded and they can move around the field in a very light manner and not feel too full as well, so that they don't feel a discomfort on the field. And then what to do after the match for good recovery, for good energy stores back in the body, right? So planning the meals as per that particular time is something that's important. And then there could be supplements that could be helpful as well. There are some supplements that could be done pre-match, during the match, and post-match as well, for recovery and to have that electrolyte requirement met for an athlete. Because these guys, they play in hot sun and they dehydrate, right? So having those hydration levels back in your body by including a lot of liquids, electrolytes added in there, and planning the day schedule. So yeah, that's how the match day scenario looks like. So
and talking a bit about recovery a bit more, any specific nutrition tips for injured athletes? Unfortunately, if any athlete gets an injury and is ruled out of a match, or a very unfortunate case is ruled out of an entire series, any specific nutrition tips for them that they quickly get up on themselves? Because injury, you would definitely agree, can jeopardize an athlete's career to a great extent. So that they can't possibly stay away from the game for that long.
Correct. Yes. So a lot of or in fact some injuries would be dependent on how you eat and how's your daily pattern like. So a lot of injuries can also be prevented. Okay. So and if an athlete is injured, obviously if there's no movement or allowed for them, then they might be rested for some time, and this can make them gain some weight or gain some fat as well. So managing nutrition for not much fat gain or weight gain along that time, around that time, is something that's important. So some nutrition tips are given to the athletes based on how the injury scenario is like, or how that particular individualized case is looking like. And then there are some certain kinds of nutrients or certain kinds of foods or certain kinds of supplements that can be given to them, so that it helps in good recovery of that injury, along with their prehab or whatever things that they're working on for getting their injury recovered faster. So yes, definitely working on some nutrition strategies during that injury time, when you're better rested, is something that's important for maintaining the weight, helping to maintain the weight, and working on all these injury specific nutrients or supplements that can help them recover really fast. So yes.
And on a final note, any message from your end for all those athletes, all those aspiring athletes, and all those fitness enthusiasts who are, watching you probably and would love to hear from you? Any special message?
So yeah, very simple message for all the athletes who are planning to have a good career ahead. It's very important to be in a first class fitness levels, because only fitness will help you move around the field more better, feel around in the field more better, right? So having good fitness is something that's important, and for that fitness obviously you might be doing training, but if you're not focusing on that aspects, you're not maybe you're not gonna go too much ahead on those energy levels and recovery levels. So focusing on that aspects is as much important as much it is for training your body. So a small message to all the budding cricketers or budding players as well. So when you are adolescent or maybe in your teenage time, this is the best time where you form good eating habits, or maybe form habits which can go lifelong. So you rather work on something better right from this age, so that you are more athletically more better, or have good habits that you can get along in life more nicely, so that it helps you in your professional career as well. So focusing on nutrition, focusing on fitness right from this particular age when you're small and training is something that's most important. So yes, eat well so that you train well and play well. Something that I would say.
Stay well. That's the message from nutritionist Sayali Naik. Thank you so much for taking out time from your busy schedule and talking to us. These were some extremely valuable insights from your end, and I do hope all those budding athletes and those fitness enthusiasts get your message loud and clear. Thank you so much, Sayali. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Damini. Thank you, Women's CricZone, for having me here. It was really wonderful to share some insights on nutrition and sports. So I hope that it reaches to the maximum of the viewers and athletes, so that they are more motivated to stuff really nice. Thank you.